From our very beginning, we're 25 years old, we've always served food. So you come to Urban Ventures and any of our programs, you are assured 5 days a week, year in, year out, you're going to get fed something. We farm here in the city on the Midtown Greenway, we farm in Lakeville, we have a couple greenhouses, we have an orchard, so we really take care of our own food. We're responsible for that.
So in this 7 acres, we have 6 different families of food. We have like 3 different kinds of sweet corn, mustard green, turnip greens, beets, onions, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, collard greens. On the patch after that is a cucurbit family. So that's squash, melons, zucchini. Next patch is tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. And the far end is peas and beans. We're trying to grow a big range of produce, but we want the biggest zucchinis, the biggest cucumbers, biggest collard green leaves, so that we can actually collect as many vitamins and many calories with the least amount of work. Because really the goal is to get as much fresh food into people at as cheap as possible.
So CityKid Farm is an initiative of Urban Ventures, and Urban Ventures exists to break the cycle of generational poverty in the Phillips neighborhood of South Minneapolis. So we woke up to the fact that hunger and nutrition is really, really important in the neighborhood. And so instead of waiting for people to come to us, we decided let's go to them. So let's not just rely on a brick and mortar. Let's be mobile. Let's find the pockets where there's a lack of access and affordability, and there's food desert, and these places that we can impact. So we try to really find families. That's what we're looking for, is families that are struggling, that need better food instead of food high in carbohydrates, and that we can come alongside them and just be a supplement. We can give fresh organic food that they could never afford, and it's a huge impact. We see that on a daily basis.
We have 2 primary operational sites. One is the farm that's 30 miles south of the Twin Cities. Then we have the urban site. So we have a hydroponic greenhouse that's doing, fresh herbs and lettuces, stuff that we want to harvest kind of immediately before we serve it. We have kind of cold season plants in one end that's covered all winter. And the greenhouse shifts and covers all our hot season plants during the summertime. So we're actually able to cover and kind of work with this whole farm 12 months a year. With the greenhouse, it only covers half the space at any given time.
I think the uniqueness of CityKid is we wanted to be a mission that did not just hand out donated food, prepackaged food that people didn't want. We wanted to take the extra pain and grow it ourselves, so we control the variety, the quantity, the quality, because we felt that that was a statement of dignity. So if you're handing someone a dented can of peaches, that communicates something. But if you hand them an organic watermelon, that communicates something too. So owning the supply chain is really important to us. And then we own our own distribution, so we are able to be mobile. We can go to places that people don't go to. And so that's a very, very important aspect of what we do as well.
Last year we did 40 to 50,000 pounds of produce. And so this year we've tripled the acreage. So if we have another good season with good weather, it's going to be 100 to 150,000 pounds of produce that come out here. We've done a little bit to build the soil. We worked to spread more compost in the fall. I like to under-promise, over-deliver. So that's why I like 100,000 pounds. It gets sold largely from our mobile farmers market. So we have a refrigerated truck that drives around 5 to 7 sites every week. It's a little pop-up farmers market stand. We don't use that to sell at other farmers markets, because if we were to join another farmers market, it might be good for our business, but we didn't improve access to healthy food. The healthy food's already there from people that make their living doing it.
We bring our mobile market to churches, to inner city schools, to community centers, to hospitals, to senior citizen complexes, to just the street. What has kind of morphed though as well is it's become really an educational site and an employment site as well. We've hired 15 youth farmers this year, so they all get paid. They're all learning about agriculture. They're all learning about how you can take agricultural commodities and turn them into a product. So there's become this really cool, unanticipated employment and education component as well.
Really, we're building up a program where we need work done, and so we're targeting making sure that work gets done by neighborhood youth at risk. So these are kids that, yeah, they want to work, they're smart, you know, they have the time over the summer, and we're giving them the opportunity to work hard, be responsible, and be in a program with adults that really care about them and want to make sure that they do well. And it's not just being manual labor on a farm. It's actually, this is how you learn how to, you know, be a successful professional and wherever they go after this.
Well, I knew about the concept of farming. You put stuff in the ground and then it comes out of the ground and then you take it and eat it. But I've learned a lot more, like in the span of this month. So we got the plastic on them, and that keeps from the bugs getting in there. And within the plastic, it keeps it warmer, the dirt, so it grows faster. It's a really good opportunity for getting involved in the community too, because people come on the greenway, and then you talk to them and you interact with them.
We decided let's try a permanent site 4 days a week. This is a site on the Midtown Greenway, so it's brand new. This is our first year doing it, and it's an attempt at, can we, without going to people, have a site where they can find us as well on a regular basis. You know, it's going to take some years really to build that presence here and to reach out in the neighborhood so that they know we're here. So I think it's a good attempt, first attempt, but we've got a long ways to go.
Yeah, farming's interesting because it's such an enormous amount of time between when you start to where you're harvesting and really reaping the rewards. It goes from the fall, where you're actually working and preparing the soil, building stuff in, adding fertilizer and manure. In the springtime, you're planting seeds, and it's at least a month and a half before you're actually reaping anything. And so really, we've been working on this project for 4 months intensively with our youth in the planting the seeds in the urban farm to when it's going to actually be entering their community and they'll be selling it to their neighbors. And all along that process, you know, nature and weather is either supporting you or fighting you, and just a million variables, you know, and so you're learning, yeah, how to make mistakes, how to adapt, how to be resilient, how to be flexible and patient with the process when there's so much that's out of our control.